Yes, she was just walking down the street,
singing do-wah-diddy-diddy-dum, diddy-do.
snapping her fingers and shoving her feet,
Singing do-wah-diddy-diddy-dum, diddy-do.
He looked good,
He looked good,
he looked fine,
he looked fine,
he looked good,
looked great.
I've been in the pipe band 3 years.
Approximately 2 years.
About 3 years now.
Almost 3.
10 years.
Been in the band for 36 years.
I've been in the band for 10 years.
I've been in the pipe band for 18 years.
This is my 43rd St. Patrick's Day parade with the band.
September will be 15 years in the band.
I got into the band very proud day, November 1st, 2006. I passed my audition.
I've actually been in the band since the very beginning, 50 years this year. I actually was inspired by the band to join the police department. The Emerald Society, which is the parent society of the band, they decided they wanted to have something appropriate to lead them up in the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade on March 17th, and includes all of the policemen in the New York City Police Department from an Irish background. Well, 50 years ago, that was the majority of the police.
All the pipes and drums on the Ireland suns on the fair September day, when you marched in peace in Ulster streets, from Barbie showed the way.
One of the biggest and proudest days of all our lives is to go into Manhattan and see the big parade. I think everybody would agree on that. There's no wheels in it. Everyone's marching. Either you're marching with a group or you're marching in a band. It's you just step out and you march and you march proud and tall down the avenue.
Being in this band, you're right up at the front of the parade. We're one of the first bands up the avenue, and just the excitement that you get from the crowd. There's no way to get tired marching up Fifth Avenue.
In the 43 years I've done the parade, I've always felt a certain thrill coming off 44th Street and going up on Fifth Avenue. Every year seems like the first year to me.
Every year you turn out to Fifth Avenue and the hair on your back of your neck still stands. You know, it's a thrill like nothing else in the world. You're leading thousands of cops, everyone's having a good day. It's what the band's all about. It's the whole reason we do this. It's great.
I think we epitomize Irish policemen, and people see us and right away they know that we're the good guys.
Now, the first thing I think about when I hear the bagpipes is my family taking me to Fifth Avenue to watch the St. Patty's Parade, and being in a state of awe when the band would march by, and always thinking to myself that this is something that I want to do. And 20 some odd years later, I did it.
Marching down with this group is just phenomenal because they're the grandfather, they're the granddaddy of it all. This is the group that started this whole pipe band movement in America, really, for police bands.
With the stars and stripes and the green and white and New York's finest songs.
We open our show tonight with the New York Police Department's Emerald Society Pipe Band. So let's have a great hand for them as they come down the aisle.
Well, in the beginning, we played very local jobs. In 1965, we gained an appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. And in those days, the Ed Sullivan Show was the place. I would say from that moment on, we stopped playing in the back of pubs. All of a sudden, we found ourselves with a lot of publicity.
It's always a great moment on our show, and we have New York's finest on our stage. And you know, these men do this on their own time. And I know you want to join me in congratulating them.
It also should be noted that the department didn't welcome us when we first started. If anything, they wanted us to go away. Now everybody sort of welcomes us. We're part of, I guess, the main part of the police department in a lot of ways, playing in funerals and events. But it was a difficult time in a lot of ways. A lot of fun, but it was fighting the establishment in a lot of ways.
We were members of a fraternal organization who was part of the police department, and everything we did was outside of the police department, but yet they wanted to treat us like we were still doing police work.
The department, you know, the last ones to come around, they seemed to fight the idea that this bagpipe band represented the law enforcement more than they did just the Irish community.
I think they were very concerned about being labeled, that they were recognizing an Irish band. It is an Irish band, but we are the department band. We're the NYPD band. You have to remember, in that time period, the police were under attack. You know, we were getting killed at an alarmingly high rate.
Time and time again, we were going out and performing at these funerals. And of course, the world saw it. Everyone sees New York when something happens in that. And I think Mayor Lindsay realized at that time that the band was sort of a force to be reckoned with.
I think the band symbolized what was right with the police department at the time. And even still today, we show the world that we are the NYPD and that nothing's going to keep us down.
While we certainly are a lively bunch, I must say that the funeral is probably the thing we're best known for.
I'll give a toast that we always give at our Christmas party and at the Emerald Society to all those that have gone before us.
Amen. In 1971, one of our members, Patrolman Patrick O'Connor, he was killed in the line of duty while working as a policeman. And when it came to his funeral, we decided to put everything we knew of how to give the dignity and tradition to this officer.
Well, you have to remember, this was never done before. Granted, in places, maybe a solo piper came out and played something at the church or something along those lines, but Pat was going to get what they call an inspector's funeral, line of duty death funeral. So there were going to be thousands of officers come out for this. Memory doesn't serve me as to when we sat down and decided what we were going to do that day, how we were going to pay our tribute. It hasn't changed very much in all the years of us leading the casket to the church, from the church.
Starts with the muffled drums, and you hear this very slow dirge of the band in the distance coming towards the place of burial.
Then the piper strikes up, and it's kind of an indication to the church there's a hero coming through the door right now. The band is the last bastion of the Irish policeman, the big Irish burly guy that's going to settle the disputes and calm the fear of the people. And I think when the band comes down, I think we're almost calming the fear of the cops, especially at line of duty funerals. They know that like their big brother is here to help them.
As a result of Officer O'Connor's funeral, the department thought it was very appropriate that we play at the other police officers.
There's pride in every New York City police officer, whether you're an Irish American or any of the other colors, relationships, or heritages that are out there. They stand proud when the Emerald Society marches up that street because they're doing it for one reason, for respect for that police officer.
My name is Ted Busick. I'm the father of police officer Michael John Busick, who on this day back in 1988 was killed on line of duty. I have no complaints, nothing but joy. But joy over here to come to a ceremony like this, to remember my son.
The relationship between the police department and the Emerald Society is a bond that's strong. They are there for us during our good times, but they're also there. They don't forget when the bad times come. They're there to take their shoulders and hoist the rest of them up.
They've always been there. I was president of the Survivors of the Shield, and we marched through Washington holding our banner proudly, the Survivors of the Shield, and the Emerald Society was right behind us.
They're wonderful men, and you know what? If you need them, they'll be there for you. They're part of a family that, you know, I'm proud to belong to, and my husband would be proud that they're there for us. Most people cry at bagpipes, but for me, they fill me with joy. They remind me of what he loved, what our family loves. And now I have a son who plays the bagpipes, and when he plays them, I know his father is listening in heaven with a smile on his face.
A chill goes through you, a chill no matter where you are. That's the Emerald Society.
It's a history into itself, how throughout the United States, of a band coming out and paying tribute to a fallen officer.
Actually, this inspired other bands.
A lot of other police departments or service bands have outsiders. They have their children. You know, we've been very, very consistent, not about a lot of things, but about that.
There's a camaraderie with the music, with the heritage, with the police department.
And that's one of the great things about this band. It's basically a throwback to a time, I think, long gone, where you have really stand-up guys and guys that are committed to, you know, preserving our heritage and the music and the tradition of the police department. It's just an integral part of what we do.
There's a certain type of person that wears the uniform of a New York City police officer, whether that was in 1960 or it's 2007 or it's on into the future. It's someone that's willing to put themselves between anarchy and the rest of society. New York City police officers will stand between those that want to stop us and those that want to support us, and that's really important.
I think they're more or less recognized as the greatest police department in the world. Well, it's only fitting that if a bagpipe band made up of those members are going to represent them at any public function, on television, in different cities throughout the country, you certainly have to be up to those standards.
I don't think there's anything more exciting and more to be proud of than when you find out that you passed your audition and made the Emerald Society Pipe and Drum Band. I think I speak for everybody in this band, past and present, that when they found out they passed their audition, they can't say that it's not a highlight of their career with the police department.
It makes my experience on the police department, you know, that much more meaningful.
There's a camaraderie in this band that no other pipe band has. The fact that we're all policemen, that we all share the same experiences, have the same turmoils and trials and tribulations of the job and home, and that's why, you know, our friendships are really deep in the band.
To me, it's just one continuum, you know? Police department, bagpipes, Irish culture, Irish friends, Irish American friends. My children all grew up not knowing which uniform I was going to walk out of the house with.
I think it's something I'll be doing until I can't walk anymore, you know, God willing. It's the greatest group of guys I've ever met in my life, and it means a lot to me to be a part of it.